clicking on this video. If you clicked it, that means you already know what we about to make. So we just gonna go ahead and hop right into this video. But first, watch this. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a sucker for a good cheese pull. So I'm gonna show y'all how I achieve this one. So the ingredients you'll need is cream of mushroom soup, chicken broth, your choice of seafood. I chose crab and shrimp, a cheese grater, heavy whipping cream, elbow noodles or whatever choice of noodles you use, and the cheese to go inside your macaroni and cheese. And you can use however many different kinds of cheese that you want to. I chose these three, which is cheddar jack, mild cheddar, and mozzarella. So we're gonna start off by cutting up our block of cheese. Now, I do see a difference when I use block cheese versus already grated cheese, but this cheese in particular did not give what it was supposed to give. Okay, I was very disappointed, but I was glad that I had the other cheese because, yeah, you'll see later on in the video. So I said that to say, go with whatever cheese you want to go with. It do not have to be block cheese. You can do already shredded cheese because it will work just fine. After you're done working harder, not smarter, shredding all that cheese, go ahead and add your noodles to a pot and add the chicken broth. The reason for the chicken broth is to give it more flavor. You're also going to add seasoning to give it flavor too, but yeah, just do it. Just be mindful of the seasonings you use and how much you use when you season the noodles because of the chicken broth. Now that our shrimps are peeled and deveined, I'm going to go ahead and season them. All of the seasonings that I've used in this video will be down in the description box below. It's now time to start cooking the seafood, so we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of olive oil and just a tablespoon of butter in the pan, and we're gonna undercook all of our seafood. Again, undercook all of our seafood because it is going in the oven and we don't want to overcook the seafood. So now we're going to drain all the excess water off of the crab, and with the same bowl we seasoned the shrimp in, we're going to use the same bowl, all the excess seasoning, and just coat the crab meat with it instead of seasoning it on its own. optional. You don't have to pre-cook the crab since it's pretty much already cooked. But I did, so whatever floats your boat. At this point, the noodles should be just about done, or if not already done. If they're not, just go ahead and add a little bit more chicken broth or water to your noodles and cover it back up and let it finish cooking. Now let's go ahead and start making our roux for the macaroni and cheese. You don't have to, it's not mandatory. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So we're just gonna go ahead and add our heavy whipping cream and a whole can of cream and mushroom soup to a pot and mix that in very well and bring it to a slight boil. The reason for the cream of mushroom soup is it give it a more of a cheesy flavor. So if you're someone who don't like a lot of cheese in your macaroni and cheese, by adding the cream of mushroom soup makes it have that cheesy flavor, if that makes sense. Boil, we're gonna go ahead and start adding in our cheese. If your roux does not have that cheese pool, when it's fully cooked, it will not have a cheese pool. So just continue to gradually put in the cheese and make it the consistency of the cheese pool that you like. Now remember in the beginning when I said that this cheese wasn't giving what it was supposed to give? This is what I mean. When I added in that first batch of cheese, it should have gave me just a tad bit of cheese pool, and it did not. So I had to go in again and add in more cheese, and it still really didn't give me the cheese pool that I was looking for. See, it's still like just creamy. So I went ahead and added in some mozzarella cheese, and when I added in that mozzarella cheese, just watch. The consistency cheese pool that I was looking for. This is what I mean by work smarter and not harder, because I grated all that cheese, and that cheese ain't even the cheese that gave me the cheese pool. So yeah, go ahead and buy your already shredded cheese. Don't let nobody tell y'all that buying block cheese will get you a better cheese pool, because it won't, as you can see. So now we're just putting our roux with the macaroni noodles into a big bowl, so that way we can give it a good mix. If your roux did become too thick while adding in the cheese, you can always go ahead and add in more heavy whipping cream to thin it out. Don't worry about losing the cheese pool, because you will add in more cheese after this step. A little disclaimer. If you do this, you do this. I'm not knocking you if you do. A lot of people do, but I don't. I do not add butter, nor do I add eggs to my macaroni and cheese. The eggs make it lose the consistency of the creaminess in the inside of the macaroni and cheese, and the butter adds on extra grease. The cheese is already greasy after you taking it out of the oven after it's done cooking, and by adding butter, it just makes more grease. So you eating grease on top of grease. So as you've seen, extra cheese after you already made your roux will make it thicker. So like I said before, if it becomes too thick to your likings, go ahead and add in more heavy whipping cream to thin it out. At this point, when it's the consistency to your liking, go ahead and give it a little taste, and if you need to add in more seasoning, go add in more seasoning. If not, go ahead and add it to your baking pan. Probably wondering, like, hold on, she false advertised, she only had seafood at the top, but I didn't. So I twice baked my macaroni and cheese. You could have stopped at that point, you could have put your seafood in, and been finished, but again, I twice baked mine. So I put it in the oven for a little bit, I bake it, and then as soon as the cheese is melted but not fully melted, I mix it in. Then I'm going to add in my seafood, and then add in the rest of the cheese and finish cooking it. Probably like, damn sis, that's a lot of cheese. And it is, but that's my business and I can do that. Now if you don't want to add all that cheese, you don't have to do all these steps. You could have stopped at the last one and that could have been that, but this is my way of making macaroni and cheese. So yeah. Now I'm going to go ahead and garnish the top with more seafood. guys, our seafood twice baked macaroni and cheese. As always, tweak the recipe to make it your own. Thanks for clicking on my video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to press that post notification bell so that way you can be notified every time a new video is uploaded. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.